Morning. Why Anthony Look is correct and everybody else is wrong. Okay, now a few days ago this big news came out that our Transport Minister Anthony Look has approved, or his committee or his team is now allowing for the two rear windows and the rear windscreen to be tinted however you like it to be. Whereas the front, the two front window mirrors and the windscreen, there is a certain visible light VLT that we need to follow. I think this is a very, very good and logical move. And although there are noises coming out from everywhere, like any changes, let me list down every single one of these and counter them. Because I have wrote an article 10 years ago. The title is Save Yourselves by Breaking the Law. Okay? What happened? 10 years ago, there was a sudden rise in smash and grab crimes. Okay? That means motorcycles riding alongside, smash your windows and grab your stuff. And that was a huge rise in that kind of crime. It has reduced slightly now, or reduced dramatically now, because of all those security films and all that that everybody has installed on their cars. So it makes it a lot harder, but it's not impossible. And back then, the police and all that, they literally did nothing, okay, apart from just letting it be, okay. And we saw people uploading on Facebook every day, you know, how they were hurt and all that. And we almost everybody has a friend or a colleague that has encountered it, you know, right at the traffic stops, and boom, the glasses were broken, and then off they go with their handbags. This even led to Perodua from creating that handbag clasp on the seats, right, to really secure your handbag. And now everybody would hide their handbags out of sight from the windows. Okay, so this has culminated in that. But that's why at that time I wrote an article. I said that we should just, and then there's an outcry from the public to ask the police or the Transport Ministry to allow for darker tints, but everybody was ignored. All these were ignored. And you know, the previous government, they like to meddle in the grey area. Sometimes yes, but no, but it's not very sure, that kind of stuff. So everybody do not know what's going on, and all people do is, some who wanted to, they just tint their windows really dark and face the consequences that sometimes you'll be stopped by traffic stops, you'll be stopped by JPJ, and then that's where bribery happens, right? And that's where, you know, I don't want to go into that, okay? So the thing is this, even Perodua, even creating that clamp is wrong, okay? It is perpetuating something that started wrongly, and we play into that. Why? The first thing why that person will smash your window is visibility, right? If the person on the criminal can decide whether you are or not a victim, that's where he will strike, right? If he spotted a handbag, or if they are able to spot that it's a woman sitting here, there must be a handbag somewhere. In fact, every single car that is moving on the road will have a wallet, will have a mobile phone, whether you hide it or not, right? If that bike rides next to you, smash your windows and point a knife or whatever at you, you're gonna give up your stuff as well. I mean, it's just, right, it's just about the time differences. So at that time, I encourage people to just tint your windows dark so that they cannot tell who is in the car, from the sides at least, right? Or it's harder to tell. Why? Let's say someone like Bing or Fan, right? Petite, you know, small girl, single in the car, right? Easy target, right? But if that guy, the criminal, is not able to tell inside the car is it 4 Bobby Angs or 1 Bing? That will make it a lot harder for him to decide whether he wants to attack the car or not, right? The moment, boom, and 4 doors open, 4 big ass Russian dudes step out. You've seen those videos, right? A small Russian, small Lada, you know, got into some fracas with a big ass BMW SUV, and then the guy came out from the BMW, and boom, 4 doors open, 4 big ass construction workers walk out. He know he's gonna get properly fucked, right? So the key is reducing that visibility, right? And for every family car, at the back there is your kids, you have your baby bag. Sometimes it's not a handbag, sometimes it's just some bags, you know, luggages and things like that. You want your rear windows to be darker so that you reduce the visibility. It makes it safer for the passengers at the back. All that. And another thing, pickup trucks. Pickup trucks have no place at all to hide their stuffs, right? The entire bed is open, and your rear seats, if you're not allowed to tint dark tints, you can't hide your things, you can't keep it from sight, right? Have anybody ever thought about that? I think Anthony Loeb has. So what he has come up with, allowing us to tint our rear windows and all that, I think that is fantastic, because first of all, however dark it may be at the rear, it doesn't affect the driver. When you drive, it's the windows, both our windows and our windscreen that matters. If you tint it too dark, it actually reduces visibility at night. But I wouldn't say that is a big problem compared to other problems driving at night. Now, there is one argument that some came up with. They say that we need to be able to see through the rear windscreen of the car in front of us, alright, so that we can judge the traffic in front to drive safer. Okay, I do not deny this argument at all. I hate it when I am following a car that I can't see through, and I usually have the habit of looking through the car in front to be able to judge whether there's things going on or not. Now, first of all, this is a technique used by many people who practice defensive driving. Okay, we tend to be very, very aware of our surroundings. We constantly check our surroundings. Okay, that is defensive driving, first thing. Secondly, the ability to see through the car in front of us, all right, to drive safe, is a convenience. It is not something that we can reliably rely on. Okay, why do I say it's a convenience? First of all, not being able to see through the car in front of me is the same as following an SUV when you are in a sedan. You get what I mean? You're in a sedan, you're low, you're following an SUV, you can't see nuts. You can't see through pickup trucks. You can't see through panel vans. You can't see through buses, lorries and all that. So what do? You keep your distance, right? So being able to see through a hatchback or a sedan is actually a convenience that you can only chance upon. It is not a crucial safety driving aid or something that is a must-have in order for us to drive safely. No. So that will put that out of the question, right? Moreover, we see a lot of Malaysian families, they will put towels, curtains and all that at the back there because the kids are sleeping and our son is crazy. We need dark tints at the back at least. And I welcome this move, and I see no flaws in this. Whatever JPJ, PDRM would like to argue, whatever some other people would like to argue, and the usual internet warriors who kept arguing, what about this, what about that, what about this, what about that. And there's another funny thing as well. There are people who argue back then, right? They say that, oh, if we can't see through the glass, then crime may happen. See, the problem is this: every time there is an accident or when there is a hit and run, it is because the windows can be see-through that nobody was able to pick up the color of the car and the plate number of the car. You think about it. Every time when something happens, we naturally want to pin the identity of the person driving the car, right? It's a natural reaction. It happens naturally. And this is the biggest problem, okay, facing any sort of crime or hit and run situations. Why? Someone asks you, who hit the guy? Oh, it's a guy on glasses, and I think he's Chinese. That's not gonna fucking help, right? What's the color of the car? I'm not really sure. I was paying attention on the guy. What's the plate number? I'm not sure. You see that? That is because we're able to see through the glass, and we immediately try our best to see who he is. Now, swap the scenario, okay? It is completely blackened out. Or when you're following a bus, you see the bus driving crazily. Will you even try to look at the driver? You know you can't. And your brain immediately rewires to find something that you can pin on. What would that be? The plate number. The most helpful thing in reporting crime is the plate number of the car. Okay? If you cannot see the driver, your brain will rewire and pick up cues like the color, the model, the plate number. These are important for crime reporting. These are important for any hit and run accidents, for any driving violations. Now, the next benefit, all these were written down in my article 10 years ago. Okay, I've carefully thought through it, and I don't think there are any argumentative loopholes in that. Another thing, it reduces road rage. But that was on the assumption of fully dark tints, okay? It reduces road rage. Why? Another thing, you're following a car, okay? You see the car driving in a stupid manner, right? If you're able to see that person from behind, you're able to decide whether this is someone that you can offend or you dare to offend. You get what I mean? Okay, let's put it this way. You see a car and then immediately you judge, right? Whether it's a supercar or cheaper car or what, right? And then when that car's driving offends you a little, you try and see whether it's a man or a woman. You start to profile it, right? You do racial profiling, you do gender profiling, right? You age profiling, right? And then you decide whether you want to road rage or not. Trust me on this. Every single road rage guys actually already counted whether they want to road rage or not. Serious. It's bullying. It's not even road rage, it's bullying. When they see that guy, that car is someone that they can offend, they will be angrier. Yeah, right? Someone who's a smaller size guy, if I'm way smaller size, right? Someone saw me, they would go all out aggressive, right? But from outside, when they are able to see that I'm fucking 5'11", 90 kg gorilla, Asian gorilla, okay? I'm not gorilla in Western countries. And they would know, okay, you know? Now, the thing is this, when we drive, things will happen, right? There are bound to be things will happen because driving is dynamic, driving is organic, right? Driving is not a conveyor belt, everybody doing the exact thing that was mandated by law. No, right? Sometimes we have to, sometimes our ways just fuck us up, last minute ask us to change a direction or a different driving route. We have to merge lanes. We Malaysians understand that, and this is what I appreciate about Malaysia, right? We are more understanding, right? It may be a double line and we queue up all the way, and this car had to cut in. we understand that sometimes he thought it was left, then he had to turn right, right? We don't do things like, why are you cutting my lane? This kind of nonsense. I think people who think like that are stupid and crazy, okay? People who try to block other people into merging in, these people are assholes. Not only assholes, they are dumb assholes. Anyway, that's a side topic, okay? When you reduce visibility between drivers, you reduce the chance of road rage. Guarantee you that, right? Because all you can pin is that Wira, that plate number, that color, and not look at that stupid Indian fella. You know, you can't do that, right? Or the Malay guy, look at that Gina. You know, no. So when you are not being able to have, when you reduce the kind of eye-to-eye contact chances of, especially when you can do it anonymously, like you're behind that guy, right? You don't need to have the embarrassment of face-to-face eye contact, and then you can, based on that visual, you start building up your rage, right? So I think all these are benefits of course not all are thought through maybe, but to me, hey, it's fair. It's a very fair move. They allow us to darken a little bit compared to last time. 70% visible light transmitted. What nonsense is that, right? And they allow us to fully tint our rear windows and back windows, and I think that is a fantastic move, and I'm gonna do that. Okay. Now, another thing, they said that if you want if your entire car wants full dark tints, you have to pay 5,000 ringgit. Fair. Fair. Very, very fair. Why? It's a way of generating revenue. You're buying a convenience from the government, and the government is legalizing something that would have been illegally legalized last time. Do you understand what I mean? Right? So by doing all this, by legalizing more things, mandating all this, you're channeling the money that has to be spent to some glass swapping company just to get JPJ approval. All these nonsense will be gone because, hey, it's fair. If you are a powerful businessman, you're afraid of your safety, you want full dark glasses, by all means, right? You pay for it. You pay for the convenience, right? Not convenience, or something that you may deem as a convenience, right? And then some people were arguing, what about the B40? I don't even know where to argue that, right? People who are not rich have a lot more important things to worry about. Isn't that so? Right? Our work, our PowerPoint to our bosses, there are more things to worry about, right? Let our millionaire businessmen, the powerful businessmen or politicians, let them be what they are, right? Let them feel safe so they can build companies that hire so many of us, that provide industry benefits, import, export, and all that for the country, right? Let them be. We have our own things to worry about. So don't get it wrong. It's not something that says that favors the rich. What nonsense is that, right? What nonsense is that? The rich are doing it anyway, right? And when you collected more revenues, it's perfect. And I also like that if the government starts allowing all the vanity plates, like how US does, vanity plates is a great way of generating income for the government. I think it's good. I think it's really, really good. So all these things, that so far I see the transport minister doing a lot of logical stuff, right? Very logic, proper government. Yep, that's about it. Too long a video. Cheers.